Well, welcome everyone. It is your host, Steven from Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. And tonight, it is not just going to be all of you amazing people in the live chat, but it's going to be someone else joining me as well. You see him on the screen, Mr. Jack Stanis. Welcome, Jack.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
All right. We are doing great, man. It's great to have
Oh
you
yeah.
tonight.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You know, I
thank
said
you.
I said this to you backstage, but it's such an honor to be here tonight. I mean, it's been such an amazing experience watching your channel grow over the past few months, man, and especially like leading me into the hype of Scream 5, dude. I just
Oh,
thank you so much for reaching out, man, and you inspired me to start making videos of my own. So thanks, man. Really,
wow,
thank you.
man. Well, Jack, thank you, man. I mean, I really, it gets me. Thank you. For seriously, I appreciate that, man. That's, it means a lot. It really does, because I believe in the spirit of community, man, and brother and sisterhood and all this. And we should build each other up. We shouldn't tear each other down. We shouldn't be, if someone has a differing view, we shouldn't be toxic about it. It's okay. It's like, no, it's all right to have differing views. There's plenty of room at the table. And for those who have the same views, that's great. That's encourage each other and support one another. And so I will thank you for saying that. That really
Excellent,
does
man.
mean a
Yeah,
lot to me. Thank you, brother.
totally, dude. You got it.
Awesome. Well, man, I'm excited, and we'll talk about your channel as well tonight. And as always, this was a really impromptu live chat. I mean, I just Jack and I had chatted about a week ago, and I said, man, I really want to have you on the channel sometime soon, and maybe we can do something next week. And I was sitting here earlier, guys, and literally I did not plan to stream tonight. I was like, I'm in the mood. Let's go.
Yes.
I want to be with my people. My family, my online Craven Something Scary family. And I said, why not see if Jack can come join me and let's talk
And
and
it
we'll have a
worked
good
out.
time. And it worked
It
out.
worked out. I love that.
It worked out great. So, for any of you that are new to the channel, welcome. If you like horror movies, you like Scream, well, heck, man, we're doing everything. Halloween Ends, and even Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever. This is your place, so smash that subscribe button and hit that like button, guys, you in the chat. We really appreciate it. That thumbs up button helps this video, once it goes into replay mode, get seen by more people and give them a chance to join our conversation tonight. So do me a favor and just smash that button. It takes 1 second, one click, and it's a big help for the channel. And also, just a little housekeeping up front, I will try to get to everyone's chat, but as you know, I don't always do it, so don't take it personal. If I don't get to your question, it's not because it's intentional. I honestly don't see it. I usually get way behind because I'm the moderator, as well as doing, talking a lot and engaging with Jack and with you guys. So, show me some grace tonight. If I don't get to your comment, don't take it personal. Don't be offended by it. And listen, I always say this, there's going to be another live stream. I promise you within days there'll be another one's going to come up. But I will also say, if you really have a question you want answered, you want us to talk about, if you do a super chat, I will get flagged and I will be notified of it, and I will make sure we address your question on the live stream tonight. So just keep that in mind. And I do want to say hi to some folks before we get started, Jack.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got some great folks here in the chat. Jen's here. Hey, Jen. Valerie, of course. Jason, great to see you. David, what's up, David? How you doing, my man? Glad you made it tonight. I love it. Prime time with Craven, it's always good. And Jen says, for me, it's late night with Craven. Hey, that works too. Yeah, I know it is late for a lot of you people right now. And even some, we have from Australia, I believe, Wayne's from Australia?
I know Jen from some of the other streams you've done, dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I see her comment all the time. How's it going, Jen?
Yeah, Jen's in the house. It's funny. Jen actually, just to give some props to Jen, she was following me. We had engaged in discussions before I had a channel, because before I had this channel, I should say, because I have a second channel. It's called the Movie Bros React, where I have my good buddy, my lifelong best friend, and I. We will watch trailers and react to them and things like that. So we're starting to do live streams. Well, anyway, Jen found us over there when we did a Scream Fest in August of last year,
Wow.
where we broke down every Scream movie leading up to Scream 5.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so Jen, she followed me over here to this channel, which is all horror. And anyway, so Jen, Appreciate you. You literally are the original OG. You might just be the OG here
Yes.
on the channel. So I love you, Jen, and she's so faithful, man, so supportive.
That's
And,
awesome.
and a lot of you, I mean, all you guys are really supportive. But I had to mention Jen because we go way back. We go way back. So, anyway, Dalton's in the house. What's up? Good to see you here. Austin, hey Austin. Hey, Austin's one of my patrons. Hey, buddy. Glad to see you here, man. Appreciate your Patreon support as well. Let's see. I'm trying not to miss everybody here before we get started. Wayne, I mentioned you, but hey, what's up, man? Love you screaming, Raven. I love it. Thank you, man. Brandon's in the house. Hey, yo, what's up, Steven? Good to see you, man. Why not Ben? Hey, why not Ben? Stuart lives. Oh, my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh, wait a second. I didn't even read the comment before I said it out loud. Jack, you've seen these live streams. I think you know what happens
Oh yeah.
when someone says Stu. There's only one thing we can do here. Hold on. I wasn't ready this early for it. All right. Bam! Look at that. There he is. That's right.
It's a stream, baby.
It's a stream, baby. That's right. You gotta have a sequel. Let me tell you what. That Stu train, baby. Load up. I'm the conductor of this train. Get your tickets. We're going on. So why not, Ben? You're the first one that I've seen mention Stu tonight. So that train is for you tonight. We're loading you up in first class, right up there by the captain's chair, which is my chair. So welcome. And so, hey, Stu, we got it out there already early. All righty. All right, guys. And Chris is here. What's up? Thank you, Chris, for joining tonight. Hey, Alicia's here. Oh, I know, Alicia. Lisa, I think Fate is getting on a Stu train. And I'm going to save some of this for the Lethal Collective on Friday. So make sure you guys go to the Lethal Collective, subscribe to the channel, because on Friday at 5, we're going to do a live stream. And I'm going to have a discussion with my pal Fate about the Stu train, because Killjoy Jake is coming around to buying his ticket now. And if you guys have not seen Fate Decided's video today, one of his videos today, he actually talks about the possibility that, get ready, brace yourself, Stu could be coming back to the movie. And I about fell out of my chair in shock that I'm actually hearing him say these words. So I actually talked to him earlier, and I've already given him an earful. We had a good time. But I think you're right. I think Fate is coming along, and right now he's struggling between holding on to the old position of no Stu, and now he has yes Stu, and he's over here, and he's struggling. He's in his inner turmoil. But guys, we're gonna work on him. We're gonna work on him.
You'll get him.
We're gonna get him. That's right. Steven, hey, what's up, Steven? Hey, I got 2 Stevens in the chat, and I'm the third here. So, hey, man, this is a good thing. It's a good sign.
Good sign.
Good sign. Hey, Morgan, I'm glad you can make it. Good to see you. You're right on time. We're still doing intros. You're right on time. All right. Hey, got our first super chat. Who we got? Jason, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you for all the amazing content you do. Oh, man, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Stu, oh, my gosh. Let's go. Stu lives, baby. There you go, Jason. That one's for you, man. That is for you and for everybody in this chat that's on the Stu train. And we'll talk to Jack about his position in a little bit about that Stu train. We'll get there. But thank you so much, Jason, for your super chat. You're always so supportive of the channel, and it means a lot, guys. It really does. Every super chat, every patron, everything helps this channel continue to grow and helps me to continue to make you guys quality content. So thank you so much. All right. Well, Jack, let's get started. Yeah, David, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. And Pumpkin's in the house. Oh, and Denisha, another one of my patrons. I want to give you a shout out, Denisha.
Oh.
Great to see you here. Appreciate your support and being one of my patrons. All right. And I love it. Last one, we're trying to fail on that Stu train. Yeah, I know you are. You guys keep it up, man. When you go over to Fate Decided's channel, come on, man. We got to stay united on the Stu front. All right. Jack, how you doing, man?
Hi. I'm doing great, man. I love this.
This is great. It's so good. My voice is getting a little bit raspy, or you can hear. So
Okay,
I'll be drinking some water here in a minute to spare you guys from a raspy talking voice. But But man, it's so good to have you here. Now I know you're a big Scream fan, man. So why don't you give us kind of an overview, real quick, of what brought you to the Scream franchise, and then kind of go from there. Just kind of give us an idea of where does this franchise rank on your list of franchises? Just kind of give us an overview.
Sure. So when I was much younger, my mother, she grew up with all those '80s classic horror movies. And when I was like 6 or 7, I think I was so intrigued with the idea of there being movies that kind of um, pushed you to the brink of being scared, and I was so fascinated that that existed, but also not wanting to experience that type of fear through a movie because, again, being so young, I remember when she would tell me about the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and like
Oh,
I'd be like, Mom, can you do the Freddy Krueger voice for me? And she'd be like, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. And I would get so scared without even having seen what he looked like. I would just get so scared, and for years I never wanted to see a horror movie. I was like, don't even on Halloween, if you like see Freddy Krueger or all of those villains that you grew up with, like, don't even point them out to me. I don't even want to see them. Um, so then, as I got older and I developed a deepening love for filmmaking, which I have this awesome picture of me sitting in front of our big square tube TV, watching the original Jurassic Park. And film was such a huge part of my childhood that finally, when I got to like, I think I was like 11 or 12, they rented the movie. That was a newer movie, not so new, but The Strangers, which was
oh yes,
it was like the 2010s, or I think it was 2008 or
yes,
something. Yeah.
right around there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So my younger sister and my mother and father, they rented the movie, and I was too scared to watch it, but I stayed on the stairs behind the couch, and I watched the whole movie through the palm of my hands.
Yes,
So
I've
a
done
week
that
later,
too.
oh yeah, man, oh yeah, man, good memories though, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then a week later, she rented the original Friday the 13th. And at this point, I was like, okay, this is an older movie. Maybe I can go sit on the couch. Sat on the couch the whole movie, still watched through the palm of my hands. And at that point, after watching that, I was like, okay, it's time to break my fear and let's watch A Nightmare on Elm Street. It
Wow.
meant so much to her because that was her favorite slasher.
Yeah.
So she's like, you can always back out. Is it okay? Is it okay? Like, do you really want to do this? I said, yeah, I think I'm ready. So I sat down. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember being scared out of my wits, but I loved it. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the movie that got me onto Wes Craven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean, what better movie to start with than a
dude,
Wes Craven flick, my man? And he was the man. He still is the man. I don't whether he's passed away or not. He's still the man. And
oh yeah.
what a legend. And hey, Jack, before we continue, speaking of legends, Jen. Thanks for the super chat, $5 super chat.
Yeah.
Hashtag Stu lives. Hashtag Mindy must stay alive. Oh yes, 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 yes. That is another thing we'll talk about in a little bit, Jack,
Oh, yeah.
is Mindy's post on her Instagram. I did a video on it already, and we'll talk about that as well. But thank you, Jen, for your support all the way around. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Jack,
Thanks,
please,
Ben.
please continue on. This is great.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
you were introduced to Wes Craven with Nightmare.
So
Okay.
my mother at that point, I believe she saw Scream when it was in theaters. I was born in 1998, so I mean
Okay.
I was non-existent at that point.
Yeah, that's true. A little before your time.
Yeah. So she saw Scream, and she liked it. I don't think she saw any of the other sequels leading up to Scream 4, which we'll get up
Okay.
to. But she
Yeah.
had seen it, and at that point, I started venturing on my own, finding horror content, watching movies by myself. Going into my early teens, and I remember, the Scream mask is so iconic. Every Halloween, you'd see it all over the place. It'd be, knocking at your door asking for candy. It's iconic, and
Right.
it forever will be iconic. So I was like, okay, I saw Scary Movie, the spoof. I was like, I somewhat know what's going to happen in this movie, but let's
Oh.
watch the real thing, which kind of spoiled it a bit for me. But,
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah.
but it you know what? I watched it, and after, I remember I was home alone, or my father was sleeping, and I watched that opening scene, and I had to pause it. I had to pause it for 30 minutes after that Drew
Mhm.
Barrymore scene,
Yep.
because I think the phone rang. It was at night. We had this big backyard right in like there's a where we lived right in front of a giant nature preserve, so there's nothing but forest.
Oh, great.
And I had to work up the courage to finish that movie. And I think what I found so intriguing about that movie was Kevin Williamson's writing style.
Hmm.
At 13 years old, I was so mesmerized with how slick and how smooth and how when you watch that movie, the dialogue and the scenes, Wes Craven's directing, it just
Oh,
flows. It's as smooth as butter.
fabulous. Oh, yes.
It's amazing. So I
Yep.
bought the little DVD trilogy box set at that
Yeah.
point,
Yep.
and like I would put on Star Wars, I would put on Scream and just watch those movies over and over again and study them scene by scene. And at that point, I remember, picking up a video camera and going around my house and just getting some cinematic shots. And that was when I decided I want to be a filmmaker. I want to
Nice.
make movies like this.
That's awesome.
So in 2011, Scream 4 came around, and I had no idea this movie was even being made. I remember,
I didn't either.
dude.
It was terrible. The marketing,
Yeah.
I've said this on the channel. The marketing for that movie was the number one reason it failed. I'm telling you right now, if they would have put the effort of marketing that we just saw with Scream 5, that movie would have been over 100 million easy.
Dude, no
And
comparison. Yeah.
no
Yeah.
comparison at all. So go ahead. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't know till it was already out. It was in theaters. I said, "What? When did this
Yeah.
happen?" And I went and saw it. I mean,
So
it's
like,
terrible. Yeah.
like having been able to like literally quote those first three movies, I remember sitting with my grandmother on the couch and I saw this trailer for Scream
Mhm.
4, or I think it was Nev Campbell being interviewed on Ellen, and she was promoting Scream 4. And I looked at my grandmother. I was like, what happened to it? What is this? I didn't know this was
Oh yeah,
happening.
totally.
So I called my mom. I said, Scream 4 is in theaters. My cousin Jonathan and we want to go see this movie. I know I'm super young, but let's go see it. You haven't seen anything since the original. Why don't we go jump and take a look? Because I am eager to go see it. And my
Mhm.
excuse was, it could help me be a better filmmaker. I want to see it. It might be rated R, but you used to love those scary movies and we used to watch them together. So let's go see this. So we went to the theater, and Steven, I'll tell you, that evening in the movie theater, out of everything that I have experienced throughout my life, for some reason, that experience sticks with me the most.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I don't think I have had that much fun in a theater since that. I mean, since this new Scream, which we'll get up
Mhm.
to that, but
Yep.
like, I loved it. And as soon as that movie ended, man, like, I was preparing for a Scream 5 and waiting for 10 years.
Yes.
Dude, it was the longest 10 years of my life, I think, waiting for
Mhm.
it, man. I mean,
Yep.
after I saw that movie, it inspired me to make the fan films, the slash movies that are on my channel.
That's
And
right.
it got me going, man. So that's my Scream 4 story. But I mean,
Fabulous. So
when I
that's what
went
brought
into,
you here
dude,
to
when I went
Scream.
into
Yeah.
when I went into film school and I told people like, oh, Wes Craven was my inspiration. For some reason, horror gets this like eye of shame, almost like, what, you want to be a
Mhm.
horror director?
Right.
You're in film school, because they look at the big guys like Spielberg, Quentin
Right.
Tarantino, all those
Yeah.
big guys that are in Hollywood. And
Mhm.
after a while of being in film school for a year and basically just being criticized because everything I was putting out was horror, I
Sure.
decided to drop out and just do my own thing at that point. But Scream basically has shaped me into who I am today, and
Nice.
my eye for film. So
That's
totally.
beautiful. What's a great story. And it's so awesome to when I meet other folks who have been inspired by Wes Craven to the same level, or like a type of level as I have, where it's really like he's my guy. It's just I don't know how else to say it. I love a lot of other horror movies, but there's just something about a Wes movie that you can't beat the pacing. You can't beat this everything about it is just he takes paper, words on a sheet, and he brings them to life in such a way. Like, I mean, even Kevin Williamson, as great as his scripts were, that could have been a terrible movie with a bad
Oh yeah.
director. That could have been like, really? This is
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, and then when it got to the point where Kevin was just writing in scenes like Scream 2. You may have heard me say this before, but I never forget this because the opening kill in the bathroom with Omar Epps, all that it said was, all Kevin had written was that Omar goes into the bathroom and Wes makes it scary. That's all he said. So that whole bathroom scene, that was
What?
Wes created that. Yeah, he created that kill. That Omar Epps was not Kevin's Williamson's writing. That was Wes's own ideas, and he got the idea for the bathroom stall stabbing because one of his longtime crew members, like, has been with him for years, knew somebody who from some of like old New York mafia, like the mafia folks in New York, and where they actually would hit people. They actually would be mafia hits back in the day.
Yeah.
And he said basically that one of the guys he knew that he didn't know the guy who got killed, but the story he heard was that the guy sat down in a chair and he was talking to the guy, and someone came up from behind the chair and stabbed the knife through the back of the chair and killed the guy. And so Wes said, how can I put that into this scene? And that's how he came up with the knife through the wall of the bathroom stall. That was
Wow.
Wes's creation as they were making the movie, like on the fly. That's what he created for it. So that's the brilliance of him, man. It's just, I'm telling you, it's incredible. And that whole Scream 3, we're not going to make this about Scream 3, but I'm guys in the chat, I want to ask you while you're all here. I've been seriously contemplating having a Scream 3 live stream where we park for 2 hours on this movie, and that's all we talk about. So
Love that.
leave me a comment in the chat if you would be down for a Scream 3 stream. But the reason I bring this up is that when they had to ditch the Stu coming back thing for Scream 3, the script, and Kevin Williamson had to leave because he had other commitments, well, they hired Aaron Kruger, but in reality, it was Wes Craven said it was him and Aaron writing that movie as they were filming each day. The actors were coming in, they were being handed scripts, Jack, and saying, here's what we're filming there, and they were doing rewrites. And remember the joke whenever Jenny McCarthy, before she gets killed, she answers the phone and talks to Roman, and they're doing lines off of each other. And she says, has there been another GD rewrite?
Yeah.
That was an inside joke because that's literally what was happening on the set. They were rewriting the script. Anyway, so I said all that just to say, Wes Craven was amazing.
Oh, dude, I remember reading an interview about like the fact that Patrick Dempsey, who was an up and coming actor at that point, he was upset that like they were going to set every day and they were not getting a steady script, just because they saw the success of the first two movies.
Right.
And to them, they sign on. They're like, oh, this is going to cap the trilogy. This is going to be the final chapter. And then to go on set and find everything just a total mess. I'm sure it'd be frustrating. It'd be a bit frustrating. Totally know what you mean.
Yeah, totally. Hey, real quick, I wanted to say what we got here. Jason, let me find you, Jason. I see it. I got my notification. Hold on. Jason with a $20 super chat. What's up, Jason? Thank you so much, man. That is so generous. Jason says, I love listening to Jack's journey on becoming a horror fan. Oh. Jack, you are the man. Craven, great guest. Great guest. Thank you. Scream 6 will make over $200 million if Stu is in it. Stu lives. Let's go. Kirby rules 2. What up, Killjoy? That is right. Jason. All right, Jason. This one's for you. Bam! That's Jason's Stu train seat. It is locked in for Jason Dyer. I've got you down. You are 100% on board in my special VIP section of the train. And it's got, open bar. It's the whole setup. So you're in that spot. So
I'll play some music in the corner of the train.
Yeah,
I'll serenade everyone. I'll play Red Right Hand on the guitar.
There you go. Bring a little Don't Fear the Reaper, Red Right Hand on your acoustic. So Jason, thank you so much for your super chat. That's so generous, brother. I appreciate you, man. I mean, I say it and I mean it, and it's not just because you're amazing super chats. You guys, I really mean it. You guys are the best community on YouTube, hands down. I don't care. I know it's a controversial statement, but it doesn't matter. In my mind, there's no doubt about it. So I really appreciate it. Jimmy, thank you, buddy. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, man. I really try to bring you guys quality stuff. I never ever want to put up a video just to put up a video. I don't do that. If I don't have something I think is worth your time, I'll skip a day, but I try to find something every day because there's so much going on. And now with Scream 6 being announced, Jack, I mean, I haven't even dug into Scream 5 with you guys much.
I know.
I mean, I've literally put one video out about Tara. The final word on Tara is the name of the video. If you want to hear my stance on her from beginning to end, it's on the channel. But I haven't done that with anybody yet because, and I want to go a little off topic, but it's not really off topic. But I have to say, while we're just shooting around, kicking it,
Yeah.
I have an idea. So on March the 1st, Paramount Plus drops the movie. Scream 5 is going to be dropped. And here's my plan, Jack, and everyone here in the chat. I'm going to watch it twice a day for 7 straight days. So I'm going to watch it 14 times in a week. And I'm thinking about doing a video every day and having you guys join me for this journey of, and like, so day 1, I've just watched it twice. Here's how I feel differently from the first time in the theater. Day 2, I've watched it 2 more times, and maybe, you know, and just kind of just video, like vlog it, basically. Not the movie, but just my own experience. So is that something you guys would like? You guys let me know. If that's something you would actually want to watch, and we could all talk about that throughout the week. I think it might be interesting. It might be fun, but
I'll submit my answer now. Yes, I would love to see that.
All right, Jack, I got one. Jack's on board. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm like, you know, I really want to do this, but only if people want to, you know, participate.
Yeah.
They want to see it, you know.
Totally.
I don't want to waste anybody's time. But anyway, so that's awesome story. I love that, Jack. That is really a great backstory, man. I didn't even realize all of that backstory with you. And that's why I'm so excited to hear that and talk to you about that. Getting a lot of yeses for Scream 3. I see a lot of yeses. Scream 3 rules. Yeah, it does. Love Scream 3. I'm telling you guys, Scream 3, it is so underrated and it's so misunderstood, Jack. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So many people, they don't understand what's really happening in this movie and what Wes is doing, and I call it rebel filmmaking. It was the ultimate, you know, it was the ultimate, I don't know how else to say it, but it was the ultimate. I want, there you go,
there we go, man.
That's what I'm talking about there. I heard someone say it, and I thought it was like, I think Jen might even have been the one that said it, but I'm not 100% sure. But someone said one time about that when we were chatting that it was the ultimate middle finger to the Weinstein brothers.
Yeah, okay.
And because he basically said, I'm making this movie with 2 killers. I'm not going to have one killer. I'm going to make the movie I want to make. And Angelina's going to be my killer, whether you tell me no, yes or no. And he shot that movie. If you watch that, way he shot it on purpose was with 2 people. It's impossible for Roman to teleport unless he has a magic, matter decomposition machine where he can just appear in seconds. I'm telling you guys. Anyway, I think my heart's saying we need to do a Scream 3 chat soon because this just keeps coming back. And so, all right, guys, we're going to do it. Bring on Scream 3. Okay. All right, you guys, you're asking for it now. I'm glad you're responding. We will do a Scream 3 chat maybe next week. Oh, Alicia, like 3's better than 4. Wow.
Wow, nice.
Go. Wow.
All right.
Hot take. I like it. All right. So, Jack, we got through with Scream 4.
Yeah.
It's been
10 years.
It's been,
right?
Gosh,
10 years.
It literally has.
Yeah.
And not to rub anything in to my fellow Craven fan, Jack, but I just have to let you know, it was January 1997, and I walked into the theater to watch Scream. I just have to tell you. I was there from day one. I'm a legacy fan. I'm an OG fan. And I know Wayne, there's some others here in the chat that have been our OG fans with me. I've seen every Scream film in a theater opening day.
Yes.
Bam! Every one of them.
I just got my wish of seeing Scream back in October, man, when they did the 25th re-release in theater. That was like the most special thing to see that movie on the big screen. So good for you, dude. That's awesome.
I'm not trying to flex or anything, but hey, I am proud of it. I was there, man, from the first day. So, Jen, I can arrange lemon squares, Jen. I can make that happen. I know a person who bakes.
We just cooked the Judy's recipe. My partner and I, we just cooked Judy's lemon square recipe. They're outstanding.
Oh, so you actually did it?
Yeah.
And they're good. They're actually good, right?
I'll send you a picture later, man. Yeah, they're good.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Because I saw that thing come out, they put it on the Scream Twitter, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if that's really good or not.
Oh, dude, so good. So good.
That's so cool. Has
So funny.
anybody, have you guys watching, if anybody in the chat, have you guys made them as well? I'm just curious. If anybody's made it, just throw up a chat and say you've made them. I'm just curious. Let's take a look here. All right. So I'm just kind of catch up on the chat a little bit so I don't
Yeah.
get far behind. Trying to get better at doing that. Destination Station in the house. What's up, Destin? I had Destin on last week with a live chat. Always a good time.
Nice, nice.
Always a good time. Great to see you here, man. Glad you joined. All right. I think I'm pretty much caught up. Troy, in case I didn't see you earlier, welcome. Good to have you here. Oh, Seaman's here. What's up, man? What's up, Chris? You guys remember Seaman? He was a guest on the live stream a couple weeks ago. And what's happening, brother? Glad you could make it tonight. Oh God, the lemon squares. Hey, man. Hey, look, I haven't had them, but they look good. But
They're
Jack's
good.
had them. He's made
Uh,
them. He can vouch for
yeah.
it.
I'll make them again. I'll make a little YouTube tutorial video on it.
That's awesome. So good. Well, I'm glad you're here, Troy. That's awesome, man. Our pleasure. Steven said he's never had them, but they sound good. Yeah. I mean, when Scream 5, when Wes is in the kitchen and that scene pops up, that I laughed probably at that scene more than any scene. They worked the squares in, lemon squares in the fridge. And I'm like, what I thought to myself, Jack? I thought to myself, anyone who's here, which we know, according to the data, at least after the week two-thirds of the movie goers were 18 to 34 years old,
Yeah.
which means there's a good chance. I'm not going to say like an overwhelming chance, but a good chance that a lot of those folks, that was their first Scream movie. And I thought, all the people that are in this theater right now that see that sign on the door, it's zero relevance to them. They're like, okay, But when I saw that note of lemon squares in the fridge, it warmed my heart. Of course, I had the feeling someone was dying, so it was hard to get too warm-hearted, but it was still there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
so I know we talked about this being a Scream 6 stream, and I think that Jack and I have a little bit of time tonight, so we're not in any hurry.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there, and hopefully you guys can hang with us. I know it's late for a lot of you, but if you're able to hang around, we're going to get to a lot of stuff with Scream 5 and Scream 6. But let's just talk about Scream 5 because you left off at Scream 4, so. And then I'll tell you some of my thoughts on 5 as well.
Yeah.
So, what was your overall feelings about Scream 5 with being the first movie without Wes Craven? The immense pressure that was on Radio Silence to take that mantle and pick it up with all the pressure of Wes Craven on their shoulders. That's got to be so hard.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
my gosh, dude, you're given the keys to his kingdom in this franchise and saying, "Go make another one." And so incredible pressure, and I admired Matt and Tyler because they admitted it in the interviews. I actually heard it from their own mouths that it was immense pressure from day one. Every day was immense pressure. So I respected them a lot by saying that because it shows that they took it really serious. And we know this is not going to be a Wes Craven movie, so we got to be fair. We can't expect this to be a Wes Craven movie, but I will say this. I felt like Wes's presence was there. So I'd like to know, what was your feeling about just how Radio Silence as a filmmakers, how do you feel they did with the 5?
So when we first got the news that obviously Wes died and we got the news, he was 2015. We got it in 2020, right? Was when they announced it. Yeah.
Yes.
So a whole 5 years later, I knew eventually they were going to make another one, and since we've had 5 years since his passing before they announced it, I, from day one of that announcement, was already mentally preparing myself for the fact that this was going to have a different feel to it.
Yes.
Because let's face it, like we said, Wes had such if you threw on a Wes Craven film and I had never seen it before, just by the way that it paced and the way it was shot, I could be like, that was a Wes Craven movie. It's iconic.
It
So
is.
going in and then having seen Ready or Not and finding out that the Matt and Tyler and Guy and James were writing it, I was already, from looking at the pace of that film, preparing myself for the fact this movie will feel very similar in that fast pace that Ready or Not did.
Yep. Exactly. Agree. Yep.
because I knew that if I was going to go into this movie thinking this was going to feel exactly like a Wes Craven movie,
Mm-mm.
it
Yeah.
just it would have let me down in a bit. So
Yes.
you can't go
Yes.
in thinking that, you know.
That's right.
Totally. The way that they handled this movie, I mean, I said this in the video that I made of my initial thoughts. Like, I was in tears half of this movie.
Yeah.
And I had my partner Zach looking at me, and like a couple people sitting down the row from me were looking at me. I just couldn't hold back because you
It's
know what?
okay.
Me being a Scream fan and being grown, I could quote those movies, and you know,
Hmm.
having had that experience with four in the theater and making my own fan movies on it, it wasn't just seeing another sequel. It was revisiting basically like the first half of my life too, and how
Yeah.
special those movies were for me. And I mean, you saw
Yes.
the originals in theaters, so that's even
Hmm.
more of a milestone.
Yes.
But for me going in there and seeing these directors who are, you know, just as big of fans as you and I are,
Hmm.
and getting the chance to direct this movie, and especially, you know, hearing that they wrote that beautiful letter to Nev Campbell, um, saying that their real drive to be filmmakers was mainly from Wes. Just from them saying that, I knew that these guys were going to do something special, whether you agreed with their direction or not. They
Hmm.
were going. It was going to come from the bottom of their heart. They were never going to maliciously do anything that was going to disrespect this franchise in whatever way. Again, people have their own opinions, which is totally okay. It's you know, this is a safe space here.
Yeah.
But but for me, going into it and watching it, I just felt like I was gifted the most beautiful love letter that I could have ever asked for after Wes Craven's passing. That's my initial thought on it, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I think that's fair, you know, and the fact is, anyone, like I say, anyone going into it, and I know on the channel building up to the release of the film. Let me just say one thing. Hey, Pumpkin Cake, I appreciate you being here, and I want you to be here. But man, let's be respectful to everybody. All right, let's be respectful. We're all here because we want to have a good time, and so I don't want to have to put you into timeout or block you from the chat. But please, let's be respectful to one another. Okay, that's what this community is about, and I don't tolerate drama on my channel or in my live chat. So I appreciate you being here. I want you to be here, but let's be kind. All right, that's what we're here for. Hey, Carrie, good to see you here. All right. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
I just had to say
It's a
that.
safe space here, man. So
Yeah,
totally,
this is
that's it.
yeah. I just noticed in the chat I was catching up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, we're not gonna tolerate any kind of disrespect or rudeness.
Yeah.
All right. Excuse me. So, man, I think that we prepared going into it, like you said. You summarized it great because really going into it, we knew this was going to be a Wes Craven movie, so we have to, we have to completely, um, you know, have the proper expectations, right? So anyway, I think that knowing this is not going to be Wes Craven, but and all the pressure that they were under, man, I thought they did a good job. All right,
Oh,
I
dude.
thought they did a good job. I mean, I really
Yeah.
do. I don't. Of course, there's things that I wish were different.
Yeah.
There's things that I would have done different. We all would have done differently. But at the end of the day, for being their first take at it, man, I thought it was tremendous. And I'm really excited now to see with the sixth movie coming out exactly what's going to be, how they're going to do it differently. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Because the pressure is off now. That's the way I look at it. The
Yeah.
pressure is off of their shoulders now. And now they can make I think their own movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
they're still going to make it a Scream movie, of course, but I just believe that now it's like, okay, we can take a breath. We got that first initial thing off of our backs. Wes was honored. We did our, and took good care in it. But now we're going to make a real radio silence Scream movie.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you guys are all thinking the same thing, but I really do believe that freedom is going to be it's going to be a little more loose on the set than it was the
Oh yeah.
first time around.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that they're bringing back everybody, they're bringing back, they're the same writing team and probably most all of the crew is gonna sure gonna come back. And so, and we also know, and I'll throw this up, and I did a video on it already today. I think it was today. I get confused now. I think it was yesterday or today. And we saw this post here from Jasmine Savoy Brown. Where did it go? Okay, here you go. And Jack, I know you saw this too. She posted this on her Instagram. She says, "What if only one of us survives?" Talking, this is her, she posted this picture of her and Mason Gooding, who of course plays Chad, and Jasmine, of course, plays Mindy. I know she looks so strikingly different. When I first saw her here, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" It didn't recognize her at first. It's so different. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she posted, "What if only one of us survives?" And then Mason responded, "Baby, we all watched the Yellow Jackets. We know it'd be you." And so, what I thought was interesting about this was that her statement really indicates that she's already going to be coming back. If you think about it, I think this was kind of she leaked. I don't know if she meant to, but it kind of leaked the fact that she's going to be back, because she would not say this about Scream 6 if she wasn't going to be coming back. So I believe, Jack, I'll get your thoughts. My thoughts when I saw that was, oh, we just found out some inside info. She's already locked in, and so is Mason. They're both coming back. What did you think about that post?
Dude, I loved her in this movie. I mean, I you'd be crazy not to bring her back. And him and Chad, her brother, you'd be crazy not to bring them back. But I mean, I even saw Melissa Barrera posted a photo, and she said in the caption, like, I'm coming back," or something like that. I might be wrong, but I feel like she did announce that too.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that yet. Okay.
I think so. Hopefully I'm right with that. But
yeah,
I just thought it was like, the thing that I love about the cast of this movie is, like, still, it's been a month since it's been out, and they're still teasing future stuff to come. Dude, they're still gripping you, man. Now, with that statement, I always had a feeling that going into Scream 6, if they continued the story, that one of them was going to die, unfortunately. And I always thought it was Chad. But, I mean, they could totally throw a big twist, and it's Mindy, They could totally... I love Randy so much. I love Randy, like, so much. He's my all-time favorite character.
Oh, yeah. He's so good.
Dude, yeah, how could you hate him, And I think she is the closest that we've got. I love Kirby. Mindy is the closest to that, like, film geek that we've gotten since Randy, that I want to see her survive this trilogy, man. If they do a Radio Silence trilogy. I hope it's not her, but I mean, it got me excited to confirm that at least they're excited to come back for it and to continue it. So
definitely, and I really do. I really believe that they're on. I think they're on board. And then I think they just haven't made an announcement yet, because Paramount's going to want to be smart. They're going to want to spread this out. They're not gonna want to just give us all of it at one time. So
of course,
I think we'll eventually we'll hear, oh, they've signed on, which they've already been signed on, and then same with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. It's gonna be the same thing. And then I did hear a little rumble or rumor here and there that Sydney was already negotiating to come back. And dude, look, if if Nev Campbell says, "I want to be in the movie," yes, please. There's nothing to negotiate. What's your price? Carte blanche. Come right in. You want a big part or you want a little part? Okay, whatever. She's gonna be in it if she wants to be, right?
She's queen. She's the queen.
She's the queen. Yeah, exactly. She's the queen of the entire franchise. So, I think they're all coming back. And then the big question just becomes then. Of course, we don't know now, obviously, but what are some new characters that we want to see, and new actors that we want to, there's a wish list we could all come up with. And there's one name, Jack, I want to throw out at you, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. One of the names that I would love to see is and guys in the chat, I want your feedback on the chat. I am caught up, by the way, so I had to block somebody else, so I'm looking out for the knuckleheads. But tell me something. What are your thoughts on bringing in Samara Weaving, who was the star of Ready or Not? They have a relationship already with her, and with the writers too. So, what would your thoughts be if Samara Weaving was brought in to be a key player in Scream 6, or an opening kill?
Yeah, or an opening. She was outstanding in that movie. I mean, I was like, she played that role so well. I was like rooting at the TV the first time I saw Ready or Not. I
Yeah,
think she would be a lovely addition to the Scream franchise. Absolutely. I think I saw you talk about it, or somebody else. Maybe it was you, Steven. But yeah,
yeah.
like I totally down for it. She was outstanding. She sold me on Ready or Not. So ready for her to come back in some way, shape, or form. If it's Scream or in another project. But I'm so down for that, man. I love that.
Awesome. Hey, real quick, Austin, man, bro, I accidentally blocked you, man. That was a total accident. I was trying to block that other user who was just trying to come in here and be a troll, and I'm so sorry, bro. That was an accident. I I'll try to figure out how I can get you unblocked. But I'm so sorry, man. That was not intentional at all. The thing moved right when I clicked it. So anyway, I'm keeping an eye on the chat real close because we're having some trolls coming in for some reason tonight. But
Yeah.
that's okay because they're not gonna disrupt our party. We're gonna have a good time. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So anyway, but Austin, I so sorry, brother. That was totally an accidental thing. So I will work on trying to get you. Have to keep try to get you back in. Hey, Jimmy, sounds good, man. Thanks so much for everything tonight. Good to see you, brother. You take care. We'll catch you next time. All right. So, Jack, let's talk then about how about we talk real quickly about before we. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. How about we chat about this individual here? Where are we at? We saw one thing about we got a couple of things in Scream 5 that well, there were a lot of Easter eggs, obviously, but there were a couple of that were really, really, really have been talked a lot about a bunch. And I just want to touch on this one because I think it could turn into being substantial for Scream 6. So we got to talk about this right here.
Oh yeah.
And we got to talk about Kirby. Kirby is alive, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I know some people are like, "Oh, we talk about Kirby all the time," but listen, this is a significant thing. This is not just like a little tiny notation on the end of the credits or something. Kirby is alive, which honored Wes Craven's canon, which because he said Kirby was going to come back if he was able to do the trilogy with Dimension, and which is again, if we just can you imagine the trilogy of
Oh,
4, 5, and 6 that Wes could have done with Kevin again. I mean, anyway, it's
imagine.
just
I
things that
know.
make you want to go,
Maybe in
Uh,
some parallel universe somewhere we got it.
yeah, maybe we can find Neo
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Morpheus and try to figure out how to get
Take
it
us all there. Yep.
there. So I have to say though, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, they have absolutely confirmed she's alive. They honor Wes's Craven, so Wes's canon. So what were your thoughts when you saw that, and what implications do you think we're going to have in this next movie? Do you think
Yeah.
they're going to actually bring her back? I think that you can't do that and not bring her back. You just to me you have to bring her back. But what are your thoughts on it?
I've been ready since 2011, man. I didn't see that Easter egg the first time until it was either Fate or one of you guys in the Lethal Collective. You posted
Uh-huh.
it in one of the videos.
Hmm.
I guess a screenshot of the screen, and I was like, how could I miss that? Like I knew the exact scene you were talking about when Richie is watching Stab 8 or the
Yes.
Stab requel.
Yep.
So I went back the day after I saw one of your videos, and I was like, okay, my main intention is one, to absorb the whole film again, but two, I have got to capture that Easter egg. I have to find it. I have to see it from my own eyes. And when I saw it, man, I just sat back in my seat and I was like,
Yeah.
again, just another example that these dudes, these radio silence guys, they know what the fans want. They have a love. They were probably speculating for 10 years just like we were if Kirby was
Hmm.
alive, you know?
Hmm. Yep.
I think they could do some outstanding stuff with her, man. I do.
Yeah.
And I know you said, Nev is coming back on, and that's great, to keep legacy going. But I had a thought that even if Nev and Courtney weren't in 6 and they came back for 7, Kirby could be that legacy character that kind of holds our hand, that gives us a tie back to those original movies. But if we can get them all in one movie, man, that's even better. I'm so down for that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
it's so exciting to think of the potential of what could happen. I mean, they could do
yeah.
so much with this storyline with Kirby coming in, and you can't have. I mean, yes, you can, but you would think you can't have Tara, Sam, Mindy and Chad all survive Scream 6, right? I mean, so now if you bring back, then that's the other challenge that we have is, and I love that. That's right, Destin. I love that. It's like Destin says, Mindy and Kirby
Oh,
challenge each other's knowledge.
oh
I
yeah,
think that's so cool, and that would be a fun scene, wouldn't it? That would be a lot of fun throughout the movie to
yeah.
have those kind of things. But yeah, and Valerie says just kind of jumping on that as well. Mini Kirby team, yeah. I mean, you
Oh
could do
yeah,
so much, so many cool things with
yeah.
that. And my question though is what's going to happen to Kirby though if they bring her back in 6, and they do have this kind of role here that we're talking about, and where we see them together and they're solving the cases and stuff. Yeah, Ghostface Hunters, right there you go, Steven. If we see this happen, what happens to Kirby though? Is she going to be killed in 6 at the end? Or is she going to survive or not? I mean, how long does Kirby live? How long is Kirby a part of the series? I mean, I don't know, Jack. I mean, I don't know. I could see it going any of those directions.
I know. I don't think in Scream 6 you kill off Sydney, or I mean, nobody's gonna kill Sydney's
Oh no,
victim
no, no,
royalty. She is
no,
she is you don't ever touch her,
no.
or I won't ever pay for another ticket again. Like that's
And
it for me.
that's right, and they know it. And I
Yeah.
think even Nev Campbell
Oh
said
yeah.
she
Oh yeah.
will not come back to be
Yeah.
to be killed.
Good for
She
her.
said
Good
that
for
that
her.
would destroys everything Wes created of her character. So
Oh
she's
yeah.
having none of it. So I promise you guys, I'm glad you brought this up, Jack.
Yeah.
If Sydney returns, which I think at this point I'm going to say 90% is there,
Yeah.
that she's coming back, you can walk into the movie saying everyone could die in this screen but her. She's the only one that you can. I promise you will be alive. So,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
go ahead. I just wanted to chime in there
Right.
with you.
So I don't think in Scream 6, even if they decided to kill Gale in say a Scream 7, I think Scream 6 you let Sydney and Gale, go through the whole thing, and they triumph again at the end, and they keep going. If you
Yeah.
were to kill off a character that people loved to get the real stakes, it
Hmm.
probably would be Kirby
Okay.
sacrificing herself. But do I want to see that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. Like
Right.
I love that character. When she's rattling off all the movies on the phone to Ghostface. Her and Charlie are doing that like where they're flirting with each other, talking about movies, man. She is just such an awesome character in this franchise. So
Yes.
if they did kill her, like I'd rather see her go down in the blaze of glory,
Hmm.
saving, being that wise mentor figure, knowing a lot about horror stuff and saving people. But again, like if I saw that, man, it'd break my heart, dude.
I
It'd
know
break my
it
heart.
would. Well, I was about to ask another question for you in the
Yeah,
chat, and Black Widow here has actually beaten me to it.
yeah,
So I was going to say, like, because you mentioned just now how if you're gonna raise the stakes, right? They want to keep raising the stakes. We already killed Dewey, so unfortunately,
oh man,
he's gone. And hey, what's up, Jordan? Just out of class. Awesome, man. I'm glad you're here. And we lost him, which again, I still say it was not necessary.
I agree.
And there are some people that are so stark want to argue the point that it was necessary. I say it was not necessary. You could get Sydney to Woodsboro in a lot of ways without having to kill the guy. I guarantee you, if he was attacked in that hospital, he was survived in ICU in critical condition. Sydney's still coming. She still would be there. I just anyway. But I can't change it. Dang it! It's done. It's
Dude,
over.
I was driving in the car, and the new song that plays over the end credits, that Salem song, "Fall Out
Hmm.
of Love." I was
Yeah.
driving, and I had it on my phone, driving to work, and that song came on, and I started crying, man. Still weeks
Ah.
later, because of how, I mean, the wound is still raw, man. Like it
Yes.
hurts, dude. It hurts. So I totally know what you mean.
It does, man. It does. But that leads us to this next question, because if you're going to raise the stakes in 6, and we know that Sydney's off limits, so how do you raise the stakes? Do you bring Kirby back just to kill her,
Yeah.
or Jack? Is it the fact that we lose Gale? Is
Oh yeah.
she how they raise the stakes? Now they kill an OG in 5, an OG in 6,
Oh man. Yeah.
and now we're down to just Sydney being the only connection. Well, I mean, Sam's a connection to the past because of her father, obviously. But I mean, as far as like being there, the only one left from the OG is Sydney.
Yeah.
And
It's Sydney.
what are your thoughts on that, man? What raises the stakes more, killing Kirby or killing Gale? I mean, it seems to me Gale would be
Yeah,
have the most impact, obviously,
yeah.
of the two.
I mean, killing Gale definitely would. The way I would like to see Gale go out is in that whatever the final movie is, whether it's 7, 8, 9, 10, I want to see her be one of the last victims. Basically, I mean, we saw
Yeah.
her in this film becoming selfless when she was always selfish. And I think the
It's true.
hugest turnaround arc for her character is basically sacrificing herself in some way, shape, or form and being the last person in the series to die.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, man. I mean, we could
Yeah.
pull a whole Star Wars on this and kill
Yeah.
an OG every movie. We could if we
Right.
wanted to, but if I were to choose for Scream 6, I mean, it sadly would have to be Kirby, but like it's like I feel dirty saying that, man, because
I
I don't
know.
want it.
I know. I know.
So, what would you do? What would you choose?
Yeah. So this is tough. I mean, and some of you guys in the chat are probably not gonna hate me when I say this, but
Yeah.
I always shoot it to you straight. I never sugar. I'm always very honest with all of you guys, even if it means a lot of you guys don't agree, and that's okay. There's plenty of room at the table for all of us. So
Mhm.
I would have if you told me, Jack, if you came to me and said, as a writer, I'm a writer, and you said you have to kill an OG. I'm sorry, it's just the way we're going to make this movie. You can't touch Sydney, but you have Dale and you have Gale and you have Dewey. And I go back to the writing table. When I bring my script out, I would hate it, but I'm sorry, Gale would be the one
Oh yeah.
that would have died in Scream
Oh
5.
yeah. Mhm.
And Dewey would have stayed on. Maybe that turned his whole life. That gave him a reason to live again because he was going to avenge her death, and that he's gonna take what he's learned and he's become, maybe they bring him back as sheriff again. He's a whole redemption arc where he starts off down here as a bottle drinking alcoholic, and he ends the movie sober and back in a good place because of the sacrifice that Gale made and showed him. And there's all kinds of ways you could write it.
Yeah.
And we could have Dewey back in Scream 6 being the normal guy we love. I'm telling you, man. I said this
Dude.
before. I said it's not because I want Gale to die, but if the options are one of these two, then hey, good night, Wayne. See you, buddy. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it. But here's the thing: if what I'm sad about, Jack, is that this new generation of Scream fans that are just now seeing the movies for the first time, they're going to be robbed from the opportunity of loving this character like
Man, I
we were
know.
able to love him in these older movies. They could have had a chance to know Dewey for the next 3 movies or 2 movies the way we knew him through the first trilogy. And I'm just like, Radio Silence kind of robbed the new fans from this
Dude.
character.
Yeah.
Really. And
Yeah.
I mean, they robbed them from that experience. And I think that's
Yeah.
sad because David really loves to play Dewey.
Oh my God.
He lights up when he talks about it.
Yeah.
And then Destin, you're right. He was the heart of the franchise. And then you see Gail Courtney Cox has already asked in 4 she wanted to leave. She didn't want.
Yeah.
She wanted to be killed. It's like she's done. But here's David Arquette, who's like, I love playing Dewey, and he gets all this, he's just like a little kid.
Oh.
And now it's over. And the comments that David Arquette has made after that on his social media and
Yeah.
interviews, he's pretty clear that he didn't like the decision that we made.
Yeah.
He thought it was the wrong decision. And and Nev Campbell even said, I question if it was the right choice. She
Yeah.
said that in an interview. I've got it on my channel. So I'm just saying, guys, Dewey was the heart. And if if Courtney Cox really didn't want to be involved, they should have flipped it. I'm just saying they should have flipped it. Dewey should still be here because he wants to be. Nev still wants to be here.
Yeah.
And anyway, we can't change it, Jack. I hate it, guys in the chat. I really
know.
do. It's done. Dewey's dead. I know some of you have said, well, we only saw one baddie bag. And I understand your heartstrings. We're like wanting to grasp any last straw of hope. But guys, he's not coming back. I'm just telling you, he's dead.
Yeah.
The directors have made it clear. David's own response is you can see it. It's not a fake out. He's not coming back. So
Just to
anyway,
do one little last touch on
yeah.
that, I do think I 100% agree. Gail should have been the one to go and Scream 2022. As much as I love Gail and I love how she cracks me up, she basically has stayed the same throughout those first four movies. Like Dewey has evolved with Scream as much as Sydney has. He's been there since the beginning. We've seen his loving, caring self. Even if at the end of Radio Silence's trilogy, they
Hmm.
still wanted to kill Dewey, they could have done it when the whole story was done and
Hmm.
really gave him the highlight of that movie of going out at the
Yes.
end and then the series ends. I mean, again, I don't want any of them to die. Dewey's dead, and like, still,
I
man, like
know.
as you were talking, my heart was broken. But I
I
agree with you,
know.
man.
I
Yeah,
know.
great idea, dude. Yeah.
It's awful. And Chris says the body bag theory is worse
Oh,
than the opening red card of. Oh, dude, that no
yeah,
doubt,
man.
man. Woo! If we start bringing up Halloween Resurrection, we are in bad. We are in some
Oh man.
bad territory, brother. That
And
is.
there's my ride. I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I can't. Oh no.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. All the love to Dewey though. Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Dewey.
man. Yeah, man.
Man, throw out your hashtags. Throw them some love, man, because
Hashtag Dewey, man.
that's right. Hashtag Dewey. We're always gonna give him the respect he deserves on this channel and all of our live streams, and because the guy's incredible. Great actor, great character, just so good. Uh, Alicia, I made a stew train for fate, but can't send it. Well, don't give up. Keep that train. Keep that train rolling. Keep it going. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, everyone who's on this live chat, and Jack as well, if you're able to make the Lethal Collective this Friday, our 5 o'clock
Oh yeah.
Central live stream every Friday. Everybody that can make it, man, who loves Stu. And if you don't want Stu to come back, don't. And be yourself. I don't want to, we're not going to mislead anybody. But if your heart is where mine is with Stu, man, let's go crazy on Friday and let Fate know that we support his first step towards walking up to the counter to buy his ticket. He's not there yet, but he's got that first step made. So that's awesome. I just love reading your guys' comments. So great.
So cool.
It's so good.
I got it pulled up on my phone. I'm trying to keep up with them and seeing them myself.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. Hashtag love you, Dewey. Hey, that's right. That's right. Rest in peace, Dewey. So good. And see, like here, Greg. Say, Greg in the movies. I appreciate Greg because, a lot of times, we'll have different takes, right? We'll have different viewpoints on
Yeah.
takes. And Greg is someone who always was respectful. I respectfully disagree. And that's what this is about, and that's what makes this so fun
Yeah.
because, Jack, you and I can have a differing view. And you know what? Guess what? It's okay. It's like, you're still my brother.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be there for you. We're still going to encourage each other. And that's what it is, everyone in the chat. And, we get some knuckleheads, like we had a couple of trolls come in tonight, and that's unfortunate. But it's part of it. That's part of what's being a YouTuber. That's what this is. But, and when I see them, I knock them out. I'm cutting them out. But
Yeah.
but for the most part, but for the people who are really here to be here for fun, everyone's so respectful. And I love watching the chat. And I'll go back and watch the replay chat because I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
really read it all as we're talking.
Of
But
course.
I'll go through and I'll be like, look at them. Oh, that's awesome. Because they have such a good, respectful conversation back and forth. So
I love that.
anyhow,
Yeah.
just had to mention that. So thank you guys who are all so awesome and so cool. And Jen's got a theory. All right.
Oh.
And I'm putting it up here right now. Jen got a hold of me, no, not hold of me, but she talked to me on the line, one of the videos, and she said, this is like right after it came out too, right? Like right after it came out. And she said, Jen's actually the first person that I've heard give this theory out. And so I have to give her props for that. The first one now I'm not saying she was the first, but she's the first I heard. Okay. And so she's like, I really think it's Stu. I think Stu was the third killer. In Scream 5, he's the one that killed Dewey, which is why he said it was an honor. And I'm like, I started thinking about that a lot after we talked that night. And I'm like, I wonder. And then he got my wheels turning. And I'm like, is Radio Silence, are they trying to pull something where we find out in 5 there was a mastermind? Because man, I really wanted, Jack, a mastermind. I wanted Stu to be behind Scream 5. You probably know, you've seen my videos. I wanted him to be behind it. And as the reveal came for Scream 5, after we see, spoilers, guys, you guys should know that by now, but everything's going to be spoiled here. When we find out it's Amber and Richie at the end, I kept waiting. Like, it's, how like when you're wanting to peek around the corner for one more thing, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, give me more. Come on, where's Stu? Give me something. Give me a note. Give me a text. Give me an outside shot of a ghost face running off. Something. And we didn't get it, Jack. We didn't get it, guys. And I'm telling you, it was such an opportunity. You're at Stu's house. How meta can you get? You're in his house. This was the time. But I'm not giving up on Stu because this is a trilogy. And if the introduction to Stu was Scream 5, which, by the way, what does Ghostface tell Jack? Tell Jack. Oh, Jack, what did he tell you? What did Ghostface tell Tara? Remember when he says, who were the original killers? And she's like, original who the killer? She's like, Billy Loomis. Yeah. And he's like, wrong. What does he say, Jack? I'm put you on the spot.
Yep.
You remember what he says next?
Then
who
you
else
should
was
know it was Billy Loomis and Stu Macher.
Yes. And I'm like, oh, we just got a Stu Macher reference in the opening 5-6 minutes of this movie. And we got a few more Stu references, which, by the way, none of them were in the past tense of being deceased. No one ever said dead, died, deceased, buried, nothing. And they had all kinds of chances to say something like that. Mm-hmm. We found out Stu has a sister. Now we've got someone else. It's another Macher blood in the movie. His nephew's dead. And so I'm like, wait a second. And then, and I said I wasn't going to make this about Stu, but dadgummit, I have to do it.
Just do it, man.
I just have to do it, man. I'm sorry. Sometimes when you're in life and you go through, you have a moment, you feel it, and you do it. Oh, yeah. So guess what? Bam! I feel it. I am feeling it again. Jen Warner, you are to blame for this one. But Jen, I got Jen a seat. She's up front.
Oh, yeah.
That VIP section is getting bigger and bigger on this train. But that's okay. We can build more. We can still build it out. Always. But here's the thing. The chance was there. I really think the chance was there. And then what does radio silence do? I'm going to take your comment down for a sec here, Jim. What does radio silence do, Jack? They give us this little Easter egg. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Really? Oh, man. They're playing with this.
It got real.
It got so real. And I said, okay, could it be? Could it be at the end? Could it be? Could my dream come true? The Stu train finally show up at the destination? Well, it did not. But I'm not convinced that it won't still. I'm not convinced at all. And Jen brought that theory up about how she thinks that's who killed Dewey. And I thought, that's interesting. So, Jack, I'm going to ask you. I haven't talked to you about this. What is your thought on that theory? I know, and several others have given that same theory on the channel as well, and I think it's growing. So what do you think? Could the Amber have just taken credit for it, but not really have been her?
Absolutely. I was never one, even though originally Scream 3, we know that Stu was going to be the mastermind of this almost like cult-like spree of killers.
Yes.
I was never one to even question the thought of could he return? Because we got Scream 3 and he didn't return, and it just never happened because of the unfortunate event of Columbine. But it wasn't until I saw one of your videos and I heard one of your theories that I was like, you know what? Because first off, the biggest and one of the only problems I had with the new Scream was the fact that Amber admitted that she killed Dewey, and Ghostface was 7 feet tall and was taller than Dewey.
Yes.
Yes, you have to look at the other movies and all of their other goofs, and you have to, say, could Charlie and Jill have thrown Marnie through that glass door? Maybe if they just totally, threw her and like a hammock, just threw her in there. Yeah, man. I guess so. But for me, that was one where I was sitting in my seat and I was like, oh, really? But I fully believe that we are going to get Stu at this point. I do. I again, I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. But my seat is on that Stu train, and I'll tell you why.
I love it.
You found out Richie and Amber, they met on that Reddit site or something. It was like a Reddit type site, a forum or online forum or something. and
Yes.
they were chatting about it. I wouldn't be shocked if they Radio Silence for their trilogy went that cult route. I mean, imagine
Yes.
seeing like 5 or 6 Ghostface on screen together. How much of a cinematic moment
Oof.
that would be, man. And then once you see, I mean, even if some of the killers are just like random people that you haven't even seen in the movie, and you're like, this is just a group of crazy people. And then we find out that it's Stu either at the end of Scream 6, which leads into 7, or in Scream
Man.
7 to end it off. Man, I would be floored. I would be floored. But no, before we continue,
Yes.
let me just give my input.
Yeah.
If they go down this route, okay, they have got to have a pretty good idea on how they're going to do it, because if they do that, that will forever change the way that you are going to view Scream 96.
Oh,
That
100%.
is. So
100%.
every time, if it doesn't live up to people's expectations and we don't like how they pulled it off, every time you watch that original Scream, you're going to think in the back of your mind how this is going to turn out, that he didn't really die. If it doesn't live up to the original ending of that movie, man.
Right. Right.
So they have a very fine line of how they're going to pull this off, and it has to
Yeah.
be perfect, even to get the people who are not on the Stu train on board. So
Yes.
I believe it, man. I believe Radio Silence can pull it off. I just am hoping that it's something that I couldn't, like when they explain it, whenever he comes out
Yes.
and it's his motive, you have to
Right.
be like, that could happen. Like, I believe it. I believe it. So
Yes. Well, and I've said that, look, I love Stu. You guys know my position. I am like Stu all the way. I swear, if Stu actually shows up in one of these movies, I don't know if I'll survive the movie myself.
Yeah.
Okay. I may be like, rest in peace, Steven, craving something scary.
done.
It's done. But listen, because I may be such shock that my heart may stop beating in the theater. But you know what, Jason Dyer, Jason, I love you, brother. Just got us hit me with a $5 super chat, and Jason says, "Breaking news, Jack. Here we go. Stu has just been released from prison due to a technicality. The Stu train is in full."
That's it.
Force,
Choo-choo.
baby. Choo choo. Give me your hashtag. Your choo choo, Stu, right there.
There
We
we go.
got it, baby. That's it. I love it,
it.
Jason. Thank you, brother. Thanks for your super chat, man. It means the world, man. It helps so much. Appreciate it.
And again, I'm such a fan that, like, even if they didn't do this, like, I would be okay with it. I still would
Yeah.
love to see that cult idea, but if they did do it, man, like, I would, it would just complete the whole series, going back to the original, man. Like,
It
going
would.
right back. Yeah.
Well, and I love Carrie's comment too. That's a good point, because, like, why did Amber take credit, right? And I've seen a couple folks in the chat, and it's interesting because that could very well be the case. Maybe Stu's like, there's a long game here. Maybe there was this. Maybe this wasn't supposed to be the end. I mean, we don't know. It could be that Amber's taking credit of, or maybe what if Stu says, "Hey, look, you can take credit for this. This is not this. Like I'm going to kill him, but you're going to get the glory." See, you say you killed him because I don't want I'm in the shadows. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I mean, there's that. I mean, so there's a lot of different ways. So that's a great point, Carrie. It could be a way you do it. You want to hide his identity, and there's so many ways to do it. I did a video on the Stu theory, the case for Stu. It's been out there since December, I think, and basically everything in that video applies to Scream 6. I made it for Scream 5, but the theory is still the same. So, and I still stand by the whole. I won't go into it now in the live stream because I have a video. You can go watch it for like 20 minutes on that one topic. But I'm telling you guys, it can be done, and I love your guys' theories and whether you're forced to or against it, I love everyone's questions and ideas, and it's good to talk about it. It's a great conversation. Destin says Stu wants his recognition for the Woodsboro murders. Gilio's got, man, it's time for Stu's legacy. That's right, man. And Killjoy Jake, you guys know here on the channel, a friend of the channel, where him and I are real good friends offline. We talk on the phone, we text, we're good buddies, and we're in the Lethal Collective together. So Jake had an idea that really was a good one, and I liked it, because it's like, because with Sydney coming back, and I think Fate even touched on this in his shocking video about Stu coming back, is that if Sydney comes back to 6, and it looks like she's going to, we haven't got the word, but everything looks like she's going to, then Stu brings a connection back to Sydney. Because why else is Sydney there? I mean, Dewey's gone. Now, yeah, she did meet Amber and, Amber. She met Tara and Sam.
Mhm.
And there could be that connection with Sam, and she could be a mentor in 6. So that's possible. But there's no real motive for Sydney. But if all of a sudden a bunch of ghost-faced killers are running around and they take the masks off and they're like, who are these people? I don't know who that person is, right? And we come to and we start seeing hints or clues that Stu Mocker's involved or around or something. There's you have to hash it out in the writing room, but I'm just saying that would be a reason for her to be in 6 because it's unfinished business.
Yeah. Or
You
even
know?
like imagine she's she goes to Woodsboro and then she gets a call from Ghostface and there's a Ghostface killer in the house with Mark and the kids, and then we get Mark Kincaid back. There's so many ways they could do
Yeah.
it, man. So many ways. So good.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Jordan's got a theory here. Stu is out of prison for 25 years. Everyone thinks he's the killer in Scream 6, but turns out he's not the killer. He saves Sydney from the actual Ghostface, redeeming himself after 25 years. Now, see, that's a redemption arc, and I've heard that also, and I think that's not a bad idea. I mean, it's not. Now, I will say my personal preference on record is for him to be as demented and savage and psychopathic as he ever was. That is what I'm hoping for. But I will say this also, Jack. I won't hate it. I won't hate it
Yeah.
if he's in this redemption arc situation because he has been locked up in a mental facility for the criminally insane or however you want to word it for 25 years, let's say, and he's changed. He's a changed man, and you could write it that way where he's the big guy, he's scary, everyone, but he's not actually what he appears to be. But so I don't hate that, Jordan. I would be totally okay with that.
Yeah.
But I really do want him back for in that I want him to come with both fists, both knives, everything you got,
Yeah.
and just bringing it.
Throwing
And-
those
and-
one-liners in there,
Throwing
those
in those-
Stu one-liners. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now, Chris says, I'm more in the camp that Tara's dad is the mastermind. Because, we don't know these dads. Who the dad is for Tara, anyway.
Yeah.
He said 2 cycles on Sam in order to get back to mom and showing the marriage. I mean, that's possible. Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Destin says, Stu's in the attic like Billy is from Black
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. Nola says, wouldn't anyone have said something about Stu being in jail? I don't think they would. I mean, that's a good question, but here's the thing. I don't think so. Because let's say if Stu's locked up for, life, let's just say, in this facility, well, 2 years later, things start happening. There's no reason for me to say what already is known amongst my friend group with Dewey and Kale and everyone else, because he's already in prison. So I don't need to talk about someone who I know is not a suspect, right? There's no reason to.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's just a very intentional thing. But outside of that, I don't really see a need. Do you, Jack? How do you feel about that? I don't think there's a reason that you would necessarily bring him up if
Yeah.
you already know he's locked up.
At
right?
first, when I made my Stu video last week, at first I was like, I did say at first it was weird that there was no mention of him being dead, but the more I think about it, the more I let it process, and the more I think back to how those other films played out, I mean, they were always so paced well that there was almost no room to even mention that stuff. Billy Loomis got all the credit always, but it's very possible that that Stu is somewhere locked away and they didn't mention him. Either that or the
Yeah.
Woodsboro Sheriff Department is doing some sketchy stuff and they covered it up protecting that family for some reason. I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Well, that's another thing, Jack. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a whole nother theory that I think is plausible. Because I mentioned in my videos before that Stu's family obviously has resources. They're a wealthy family. They're not.
Oh, yeah.
They're living out there in this amazing house, and this is in California, right? This isn't, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
and this incredible house with this amazing hill down there out here in the wine country. and they've got a boat in the front in the driveway. All the signs are there that these people have a lot of money. They could also be in power. They could have positions of political power. They could
That's
be,
true.
I mean, they could be politicians, senators. They could be. I mean, we don't know, and that's the beauty of all this, guys. When there's nothing defined for us, it's open to define, and so we as a writer, you can fill in the blanks that are there, and there's a lot of blanks with his parents. We have nothing on them, so they could eat. I mean, how many times do we see movies? And obviously, honestly, let's be real. Even in real life, documentaries on real where people that have a lot of power can do a lot of things that you and I can't do,
Oh yeah.
and they can make things happen that you and I could never in a million years make happen. So it's not out of the world, out of the realm of reality that these parents could be influential. They could have a lot of money. They covered things up. They have people in high power in high places, in law enforcement, and there's all kinds of things that could be done with corruption. And I'm just telling you, there is a plausible way. I think there's several plausible ways. You could say he was hid away. They left town. They went into hiding. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it. But Jack, I agree with what you said earlier, and I've always said this as well. I'm not just saying stew, 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 and just like I'll take anything. I also believe it has to be well written. It has to be written in a way that's organic to the story. It can't be forced. It has to feel natural. And my position always has been that you can do that. That's what I'm saying. My position is you can write it in an
Oh yeah.
organic way, and you can make a believable story to
I
bring him
can
back.
I could hear him literally saying, like, let's face it, Sid, you know a couple people, you can pull a couple strings, voila.
Yeah,
That's it, you know?
exactly.
That's it. That's it, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Now Jordan has the opposite view, and that's good.
Okay.
That's great. Jordan says I love Stu so much I don't want him to bring him back. He's my favorite character, and made my childhood. No matter what they could do, it will ruin it. So let's move forward. So okay, and I
Oh,
understand that view. Like
yeah.
like that view. I'd rather leave him where he was. So the memories I have may be better than the reality I'll get. And so, and Jack, you even mentioned it. Whatever happens, it's gonna make us view 96 a little differently. It doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just different in
Right.
some ways. And Stu certainly won't be that 17-year-old kid anymore. He's going to be almost 50 years
Oh,
old.
yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to be influenced by prison, or by the psychiatric. In other words, that stuff changes you. You're not the same guy. And so, but at the same time, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to stick with I'm not backing down. It can be done in a way that will work. I know the writing talent is there, that there are some incredibly talented writers, and I hope that James and Guy could do it. What I really wish would happen, and I said this on a video recently, I wish Kevin Williamson would step into the writer's chair to be a third writer
Oh.
and be equal with one third writing, and
Ah.
let Kevin help write this story. And I think if anyone on this planet can make Stu coming back work, it's the man who created them
Oh,
from the
man.
beginning.
Yeah.
It's Kevin Williamson. And he is executive producing. So he'll be there. He'll consult still, but I want it to be more than consulting. I want him in the seat at the table with Guy and James, and they're sitting there locked in for a week writing the movie. That's
I
what I
love that.
want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. That sounds awesome. Let's hope, fingers crossed, right?
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Manifested. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Oh, let's take a look here. What else we got in the chat? So, all right. I'm just making sure I'm caught up with everything here. Yeah, we're good. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. So, we talked about Stu a lot. We talked about Kirby. We talked about Sydney. We don't know about Gail yet. We don't know if Gail's going to be coming back. Courtney Cox, I should say. We haven't heard anything about her yet. It's too early. But I believe we have confirmation now of Mason and Jasmine. So Mindy and Chad. And you said you saw something on Melissa Barrera earlier, right? That she
Yeah. I
commented
could
about
be
coming
wrong,
back.
but
Okay.
I believe it was a picture of her. You know, she had her shirt on from the finale of the movie, and maybe it was a couple days ago. I remember her writing, "And I'm coming back" or something like that. Or I think I'm
Okay.
like 95% sure. So don't quote me on that, but yeah,
No,
I
no,
think
you're
so.
no, you're good. Yeah, I haven't yet seen it myself, but
Okay.
Carrie says that Courtney said she would come back. She saw an article.
All
Okay,
right.
all
All
right.
right.
Well, that's good to know. That's excellent. I mean, I kind of felt like if Gail came back, it would be. I just didn't think it'd be a very big role.
Yeah,
Part of me still wonders if the writers are going to bring her back.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but it's good, Carrie. Thanks for sharing that, and Jack, and letting us know, that you read that, and Black Widow. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was just thinking too. Is she's going to probably move on with her life, but maybe a cameo. I could see that. Yeah.
Her morning show or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like there you go. Perfect. On the morning show and you see her on the TV there or something, so she's
Dewey's book. She wrote the book for
now,
Dewey.
now there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
would be great. Like Gail could be on her book tour
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and kind of like Sydney in Scream 4 a little
Uh-huh.
bit. Kind of,
Oh
pay
yeah.
a little homage to Scream 4, but reverse
Okay.
it this time. That might be a way you could do it as well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk briefly about Scream 5. We're coming in an hour and a half, but we still got 46 people in the chat. So we got a good crowd here. So it's
Nice.
already midnight for a lot of you guys on the Eastern time zone. But if you guys
Yeah.
are still here, then Jack and I can hang out a little while longer. We can go a little while longer, right, Jack? We can
Sure.
go.
Yeah. Let's do
We
it,
can
man.
do that. All right. So keep your questions coming in if you have any. And of course, remember, if any super chats, I'll make sure I get to your question and we'll address it. So, Jack, let's talk a little bit now about the end of Scream 5. Spoilers again. How did you feel about the reveal of Amber? What did you feel about Amber and Richie, the characters, both before and after reveal? What were your thoughts on them?
Um, I knew that it was both of them. The whole movie, like I was going.
Yeah.
These were my two.
Mhm.
Like many have said, I was hoping that it wasn't Richie because I loved his character so much, and I thought that since they killed Dewey, he would be that kind of goofy replacement character that was just like on the side helping to solve things. So I was like, I hope that it wouldn't be that predictable and that it wouldn't be him. But I did guess them. But
Yeah.
what I see people saying is like, I guess the killers, that must mean that it's a bad movie, which I completely disagree with. I like I said, knew who they were, but I still loved it and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought their motive was good. I did. I loved the whole toxic fandom thing, especially because that's a big play in
Yep.
cinema now. It's completely relevant. And I always say even Scream 4's motive was too early for its time. I mean, if that
It
came out
was.
now, man, it would blow everybody away.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely. 100%.
I think the only problem that I had really with Amber is just that whole dialogue about her killing Dewey, because in that scene where she's doing the psycho reference and she's
Mhm.
standing next to Gail, she's even shorter than Courtney Cox, and you could
Yeah.
see it. You could
Yeah.
visually see it. So
That's
to
true.
me, not excluding the whole Stu theory that we had, um, it just seemed like I'm sure they knew where they were going with this film, but it just
Mhm.
seemed like a little a detail that was pretty clear, I'm sure, when they were shooting it, but they didn't think about it until people made comments on it.
Yeah.
But they could easily dig themselves out of that one. They could easily do it.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. I loved Richie as the killer.
Okay.
I know, Steven, you have said this in your other videos. I think I'm with you. My favorite scene in the entire series so far is when Sam is literally harnessing her inner Billy Loomis, and she is just going ham on Richie. Oh, there we go.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, cat-like reflexes. Dude, when that scene came up and she stabbed him through the mouth and she's stabbing him,
Mhm.
it went on for 30 seconds, and about 15
Yes.
seconds in, I was like, "Oh my god, is this still going on?" Like it dragged out
Yes.
so long. But like in a way, it was almost finally like one of the Ghostface killers got what was coming to them. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Dude.
I do.
Like it was so satisfying in a sick way,
It
like
was.
dude,
Oh,
it
it was.
awesome.
It was. I'm telling you guys right now, my most favorite kill
Yeah.
of Scream 5 is not even a Ghostface kill. It is
Yeah.
Sam killing Richie. It was the best. They saved
Oh,
the best
man.
for last. I mean, when it went through the mouth or the cheeks, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then, but no, like you say, she was just getting warmed up. It's like she got a taste for it. And then once she started, it felt like she couldn't stop. Like she literally could not stop stabbing him, and she was enjoying it. It almost looks like it almost looks like she was smiling. She was enjoying it so much. She was like just going to town. And I remember by the end of it, after she got through with 21 stabs to the torso,
Yeah.
and then one through, or I guess the 20 stabs, and then one through the cheek, one through the neck, 22. 22 total stabs, and she's got the blood splatter, the back splatter all over her face and her clothes. And then she stands up and she sits up and she does the whole wipes the blood off with her fingers. I said, oh my gosh. And then you look up and you see that. Look at Billy.
Oh man.
Billy's like, good girl. That's my girl. That's my girl, Sam.
My man
And Skate.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm telling you, man, and I've said this before, but it just makes me wonder if they are setting up Sam to ultimately ultimately to give in to her Loomis side, and just turn into doing a whole lot more of that. And
Dude.
she liked it too much, man. And then we see Tara. Maybe Tara ends up being that final girl for the long game through 7. And what if Sam's not even in 7?
That's true.
What if Sam's killed in 6 by her sister? Or, I mean, could you imagine that? It's
What a
always
twist.
What a twist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would blow me away. I mean, because at this point in the 5th, 6th, and hopefully 7th entry into a franchise, you have to do something different. You cannot follow the same formula. This was like, I never thought you could compare Star Wars to Scream, but Scream 2022 was like The Force Awakens, following a similar formula, kind of keeping true to the original. But 6 is really going to be where Radio Silence is going to shine. And I could see them pulling something out like that just twists the whole formula and flips it on its head, dude. Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely,
Man, look at that.
Look
at that. Dude.
I'm
telling you.
Yeah, that's iconic, man.
It really is. I'm telling you, man. She just watch out for her, man.
Oh yeah.
You may be looking at the final girl of this trilogy right there. This could be who it is. And I've said it before, Jack. I'm gonna say it again. Tara went through much more physical trauma than Sam did in this movie.
Man.
I mean, that girl, bless her heart, she was just that opening kill. I keep saying that's such ingrained to say opening kill, but that opening attack was horrific. I mean, that knife through the hand, given the homage to Scream 4 with Olivia, was great. But this poor girl was just, man, she was just. I mean, if the cops hadn't shown up, she probably would have. They probably would have killed her.
Yeah. It was brutal. Downright
it was brutal. Yeah, that's the word.
Brutal.
That's the word right there. It was brutal, and she overcame it, and and then she was finally able to kill Amber at the end of the day when she came back from her half-burned face in the kitchen.
They always come back for one last scare.
Always come back for one last scare. Yes, you got to know the rules, man. And so, yeah, it was there. I agree with Frank. Yeah, the whole finale with me was good. I thought it was too. And I was hoping that it was not going to be Richie, but I did predict Richie in my predictions video, which, by the way, just while I'm thinking of it, I believe that this week or next week I'm going to do a reaction video of me watching my prediction video.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about what was right and what went wrong, and just kind of, I thought that might be interesting if you guys something you'd like to see, But yeah, I thought it was a good ending. I loved Sam giving in to the Loomis side of her and just unleashing, and that was incredible. I thought Amber, I've been real vocal about Amber. I've always said that I think the character, not Mikey Madison. I mean, we're not talking about the actors. I'm talking about the characters. The character of Amber, I just did not like. It was just no personality. There was no charisma, and I can't compare her to Stu because Stu is, no one will be a Stu Macher. That's just, he's up there at the top. But you can't help but kind of like compare, like she would be the Stu, Richie's the Billy, but she didn't have any of the personality. She was always angry, always. I mean, look at that. That's the face.
Oh yeah.
That, to me, that personifies the character's personality. That is what she was to me, that entire movie. Now, for once the reveal was made, I'm okay with that because you should be like that because you're nuts, you know. And then so the minute she shot Liv out of the blue, I'm like, oh, okay, so it is Amber. It was great. I loved her after that, but I just wasn't impressed with her before that as a character. And I think it's the writing. The
Yeah,
writing had
probably.
her is what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't her. She was acting the way it was written to be acted. But I did like Richie a
Oh
lot.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
like Jack Quaid the entire movie,
Yeah.
and I thought he was a standout of the new cast
You know,
for
I heard
sure.
you, I heard you talking about the idea in some of your videos about if this film was maybe 20 minutes. There he is. Yep,
Yes,
Richie. Yeah,
he did
he was
so good.
awesome, man. If this movie was like 15 or 20 minutes longer
Mm,
and they still kept that fast pace, I don't think
yes,
anybody would have realized, man. Like I was in
no,
there and I couldn't believe that the credits were rolling at the end. I was like, there's no way that was almost 2 hours. I think it would have helped, and I know April. I think it's April 4th or something. The Blu-ray is coming out, the home
yes,
released.
yes, it
Um,
is.
and they haven't announced if they're going to do like an extended cut. I know the deleted scenes will be on it, but I'm hoping they do like a Halloween Kills or something. But
As of right now,
yeah,
as Jack, they are not planning to do an
yeah,
extended cut, and it's really
ah,
it broke my heart because I was like,
yeah,
"Come on, do a Blu-ray where they release two, put two Blu-rays, one theatrical cut and the
yeah,
extended cut." And
yeah.
instead, they're just going to give us the deleted scenes, so we have to
We've
piece
never
it
gotten that
together.
for yeah for a Scream movie. We've never gotten an unrated cut. I don't think, at least. I
No,
haven't
we've
seen it.
not.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only one that went out there was the Scream one, Scream '96.
Mhm.
There was an Wes Craven's director's cut was released on Laserdisc.
Oh,
If you remember
okay.
those things,
Yeah. Oh,
the
wow, man.
Laserdisc was humongous, like DVDs on
Dude.
steroids. They're massive. Though, but that was other than that, I'm not aware of any. I did hear someone recently tell me that there was a director's cut of Scream 2. I've never heard of
Oh,
that, never seen
yeah.
that. I'd love to if it's out
Yeah.
there, but I've never found it. So no, unfortunately, we have not. And it would have been so good just to say, let us see the full version, the full,
Yeah.
because it was 2 hours and 27 minutes.
Oh,
So
imagine that.
30 minutes they had to cut to get that theatrical cut made. And that's
Ah,
so, how much, that's so much time. Like 30
right.
minutes is in the movie. That is like so many scenes that they had to cut out. So I'm like, what does it hurt? I know it
Yeah.
costs money. I know things about the bottom dollar, but look, what would it hurt just for the studio who has the footage? They've got it in a vault. Just say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just let that go out to the public. We're going to give it to them. That's all they got to do. I mean, look, I won't even be greedy. Just make it as a streaming only. If you don't want to make the spend the money to make the Blu-rays and the packaging, then just do it streaming. It's literally $0 because you have your own streaming platform.
Oh,
It would
yeah.
cost you nothing. Your Paramount Plus. Just
Ah,
just put it out there. Zero cost, all revenue. I don't know. Sometimes things just make too much sense to work. You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
right?
It's like it's too.
Yeah.
This is too logical. It can't work. It can't be right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Too good to be true, right?
it's too good to be true. We could just
Yeah.
let them have it and push a
Yeah.
button and it won't cost us any money. But no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I am excited though for March 1st because we do
Oh, yeah,
get,
man.
we get the Paramount Plus drop. So
Yeah.
we can finally start watching the movie again
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
at home, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
So overall, how about the motive? Tell me what did you think about the motive of wanting to recreate a new stab movie that was going to be back to work the original, and which obviously is so meta because they're
Yeah.
trying to make Scream 5 back to the original. Yeah, it's all intertwined.
Oh, dude.
So tell me about what you thought about the motive. Do you think it was good enough? Would you have liked to see more, or were you happy with it?
I liked the motive, I have to say.
Okay.
I again, as I was watching it, I was expecting more to show up, but it didn't. But hearing their motive, especially seeing in cinema how requels, I'll quote it, are now the new way of introducing new generations to a classic saga, with being able to just watch the requel and not have seen the original. But if you saw the original, it's like a love letter to you, so they kind of come together like this. Um,
Yes.
Seeing what they did with Halloween 2018, which I loved, uh, I I thought that it was because Scream 4 did remakes, you know, and that was like
Yes.
that was a perfect
Perfect.
meta tie-in with that because that was the time of remakes. So
That's
now
right.
with now with requels, and especially hearing because you know it's no big surprise that uh, Stab 8 was directed by Ryan Johnson, who's the Star Wars director of Episode 8. You know, that's the Easter egg there, and a lot of people, whatever you think about it, that's totally up to you. We're not on par with it and did not agree with the vision of the originals, and seeing that happened in the Scream universe with Stab,
Mm-hmm.
it, and talking about toxic fandom, and when Mindy had that speech about her, it all comes ties in when she had that speech about her, um, talking about how people love these movies. Like with my mom, I watched those movies with my mom, like the Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and
Yeah.
when that remake came out in 2010, which I did see with her in theaters, I was let down by it. So when you make a movie that just doesn't live up to that same love, um, it's gonna make a lot of people mad. And I think in today's
True.
day, it had a lot of reality to it, and I think for some it was a little too harsh of a reality because I see a lot of people rejecting it and saying like, no, no,
Right.
no, like we're not like that. There's no such thing as toxic fandom when there is, and that's
Oh
okay.
yeah.
We can
Absolutely.
acknowledge it, you know, and then we
Yep.
can move past it. So I thought it was pretty creative. I do. Zach, my partner, he loved it because you know, he loves Star Wars, and he saw the same thing happen with Star Wars. So it just you could connect to it because it was so real. So I loved it. I see a lot of people complaining about it, and I understand their complaints. But for me, I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I had no problem with it either. I thought it was definitely of the time that we're in. And I mean, it's hard to not make Star Wars comparisons, but I mean,
I know, man.
it's like,
Yeah,
come on. They even having Ryan Johnson directing Stab. I mean, it's like, come
dude.
on, guys. It's so much of a mirror thing. And
I
of course,
know.
people calling Billy the Force Ghost
Oh,
Billy. I'm like, oh, come on now. So,
yeah, man.
I mean, but at the same time, I will say this: I thought it was fine. I had no problem with the motive. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But I felt like, and guys in the chat, tell me what you guys think about this. I kept thinking there needs to be more. There's missing something. It's like, well, okay, I got this. I'm good. That's good. But wait, there's got to be something deeper. A little bit more depth to this motive that connects back to the original. Because see, my whole thing was connecting to 96, and obviously Sam being Billy's daughter is the connection. But I was thinking a grander scale. I was thinking, we've got Judy, obviously, who goes back to 96. She could have been a mastermind. Judy Hicks could have been involved as a sheriff. You could have worked that out brilliantly.
Oh yeah.
But that was a missed opportunity. I still to this day think
Yeah.
that was a missed opportunity. But I said, okay, what else is it? It's Stu. We're in his house. They've talked about it, Stu, 4 or 5 times. His name has been dropped, and or even if it's not Stu, okay, even if it's not Stu, just I kept waiting for something deeper that's connecting to Sydney in some other way, and it just wasn't there. So I wasn't. It wasn't that I didn't like their motive.
Yeah.
I was just hoping it would have been more than just that. That's
Yeah.
all. That was my thought on it.
It felt shorthanded almost. Like it was
Oh
like, okay, this is the
yeah,
motive. It's good, but it needs a little bow on top to complete it. And that bow wasn't there. So I absolutely agree with you, man. Absolutely.
right. Yeah, and Carrie, you're right. I see. I know you're right. There are the connections. Right. We do have
Ah,
the Mix twins. We
yeah.
have Vince and Stu. But what I really mean by connected to the past is more like literally to the events of the past. I guess is the way I should say that. Not just the people of the past, but like actual connections to that night at Stu's house,
Oh,
which is what I'm, see. That's what I mean. That's just to
yeah.
clarify. Like I was hoping, like Judy, for example, she could have been at Stu's party and
Mhm.
we didn't know it. I mean, see, you could have done all this backflash where you see Judy Hicks at the party and you're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, and then and this is like at the reveal at the end that she's a mastermind, and she could have been like, yeah, ever since that night when I saw Billy go upstairs with Sydney. I mean, dude, you could have written this whole dialogue out. I knew at that point in time that my revenge was going to come, and So, and unfortunately, Billy's got to get killed, and Stu had to get locked up. So I had to wait until his daughter was old enough that I would not feel guilty about killing her.
Oh,
Dude, I mean, I'm telling
yeah,
you.
man.
You see what I'm saying? And you could have
Oh, man.
Judy just having this whole backstory that we had no clue on. She's like, I've been sheriff here, biding my time, being in control, being able to
Yeah.
manipulate everyone I want to manipulate. Bro, I'm telling you,
Dude.
there was an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm brilliant or anything like that. I'm just telling you, that is a
Absolutely.
story I would have loved to see.
Setting it
I
up
would have,
even 10 years prior with all
yeah,
of her creepy scenes in Scream 4. Like
yes,
every time she was on screen, she just had this like eeriness about her. It was that in the hallway with Sydney with the
yes.
shadow. I was like, there's no way that she is not involved in this for 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you another blow your mind moment. We found out that Sam babysat Wes, and
Oh,
so
that's right.
Judy knew Sam when she was a teenager, like
Yeah.
13. She could have even said something like, the last time you were in my house, you were too young for me to kill, without having to feeling guilty about it. But now you're a grown up woman, and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. And how about dude, listen, she could have hired Sam to babysit her son
Yeah.
just to be close to who she will eventually kill, her source of rage and inner frustration.
Yeah.
I'm going to like bring my victim and taunt. They don't even know it, and they're in my presence. Total manipulation as a kid, even.
Yeah. And Marley Shelton, she was in this movie
Bro.
called The Getaway, and she played this like somewhat nutty woman so well. I didn't even
Oh,
recognize her when I saw that movie. So she could have put on such a performance. So,
she could
oh
have. She could
man,
have.
yeah.
I mean, like I say, I'm literally just thinking of some of this right off the top of
Yeah.
my head, just as a way it could be done. And
Ah,
could you imagine this movie, even if we didn't get Stu, just having that Judy thing? That would have been
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
So, again, we can't change 5, but we have hope for 6.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
not for Judy, of course, but we,
Yeah.
of course, she's not coming back unless she's a Force ghost. Yeah, but no, I'm
Exactly.
just joking. I think she's not coming back.
Uh-huh.
But we do have hope.
Totally.
And Frank, you're bringing it up, and I
Oh
think
yeah,
Jack,
Frank.
it's been a little while, Jack. I think we should
Yeah.
do it one more time tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it.
We got to do it.
Oh,
There it is.
it's the scream,
It's
baby.
the scream, baby. And Frank, you're the man. Frank is bringing it up. We had to bring back Stu for the train one more time
Yeah.
because hey, why not? This is where he's.
These days, you gotta
Yeah,
have a sequel.
you gotta have a
Gotta have a
sequel.
sequel, man. You gotta a requel sequel.
Yes. Excuse me.
Good stuff.
So I have to mention real quick because I've seen some people talk about it, and yes, Alicia, that's right. Yes, 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 he's the mastermind. So and Destin brought it up here. So on Thursday, excuse me, you can hear my throat's getting.
Oh,
So we have an event. It's a fandom event. It's only being released in Regal cinemas, so it's very limited availability.
yeah.
But check your local listings or go on the Regal website. There is a special fandom event of Scream 5. They're releasing it with the deleted scenes put in the movie,
What?
and they're adding 10 minutes into the film. So it's going to run in 2 hours and 4 minutes now instead of 154.
Oh
So
man.
if you have a chance, it's only one day. It's Thursday, and it's only at Regal Cinemas. So check your
Yeah.
local listings. I was tempted to go, but man,
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna wait because I wasn't able to go to this with the times and stuff. It didn't work out
Yeah.
for Thursday, but
Yeah.
if you can make it, it's out there.
Yeah.
I wanted to
I
mention
mean,
it.
I was planning on going on Thursday. I thought we were gonna get like some behind the scenes featurettes or something, but hearing that the deleted scenes are now in it, I will absolutely be there, man. That sounds awesome. I mean,
Yes.
I saw it 3 times, and that'll be my 4th time, and then that's good. I'll wait till the home release after that. But yeah, I'll try to go, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good
If
stuff.
you guys can go, that is
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, it's Regal Theater. That's where you need to go. Check your listings.
Oh
Oh, look at Jen. Got my ticket. Ah,
yes,
there you
I
go.
can tell Jen's an OG fan.
She is.
I love it.
What's up, Kelly? I'm glad you can make it to the stream as well. We're going. We're having a nice long stream tonight. We're going to probably shut down in about 10 minutes. Well, that'll be 2 hours. And but I'm happy to say we're still at nearly 50 people. So
Nice.
that warms my heart, guys, that you're hanging out on a work night, school night,
Oh yeah.
and for many of you, it's almost 12:30 in the morning. Some of you maybe even later, and that are still here to be a part of this live stream. You guys are the best. And if you have come on recently, so we've had a lot of new people, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button real quick. It'll just take you 1 second, and it really does help this video when it goes into replay mode the minute the stream ends. It means a lot to the channel. It will help us out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button while you're here. If you like this kind of content, we do it all the time. I always have guests on like Jack and other content creators. We have a good time. If you're new, hey, Omar, there's right there. Hello, you're new to the channel. Well, welcome. Welcome, man. I hope you're having a good time. If you like this kind of content, just hit that subscribe button because this is what we do. That's what I do here on my channel 7 days a week pretty much. So
Love it.
appreciate you being here. Always like to meet new friends.
This has been lovely tonight. It really has. I've had such a blast talking to you, Stephen. It flowed so nicely, man. So thank you so much for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Oh, Jack, you're more than welcome, man. It really was. It's been my pleasure, honestly. It's been
Thanks.
such a joy. And before we kind of go to our closing up here, why don't you just tell us, Jack, if there's one thing that you would want to see, just one, in Scream 6, what would be that one thing?
I want to see 5, 6, or 10 Ghostface on screen at
Nice.
one time. Like even over Kirby returning, which I want. So I made a video about it. I want that. But if I could choose, I think as a horror lover, as a Scream lover, that would be the cinematic experience that I would want to have. I could see it in my head, like whoever the opening kill is, they look at one window, there's a ghost face. Another window, there's a ghost face.
Nice.
2 other windows, there's a ghost face. 1 behind her, 2 in front of her. That would be breathtaking. So out of anything, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Go with the original Scream 3 idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so wild? It really
Dude, yeah.
would. It would just
So
be
wild.
something new, something different. You guys chiming in here. Yeah, the 3 killers. That's, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if we can't get the group cult thing,
Yeah.
yeah, at least 3. Let's just
Yeah.
add another one. Let's add it, or let's actually have that mastermind with 2 killers. Something like that. But 3 killers would be great.
Yeah. Even
'cause
3, because we've never seen like 2 Ghostface really. I mean, we've seen them jump around the house, but we've never seen 2 of them actually on screen together.
Nope.
Even if it's just 3, that would be awesome. All in the costume. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was really hoping in Scream 5 we were going to get that because
Yeah.
when the trailer came out, and then there was this one of the TV ads shows Chad getting attacked when he's looking for Liv, remember?
Mhm.
And he gets stabbed. Well, then he runs, and then a ghost face flings the doors open of the shed, remember, and comes running. I said, oh, what if? Because to me, that was 2 ghost face killers. Because you're not going to stab him and then run over to a shed and shut the doors while he's literally right there.
Yeah.
So that had to be 2 of them. And my thought was, what if we finally see 2 Ghostface in costume stabbing them at the same time? Chop, 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 chop.
Yeah, man.
But it didn't happen, though.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. So not yet. Carrie
Best for
says,
last.
yeah, there you go. Carrie says, let's go for 4. Hey, why not?
Okay. Yep.
Why not? Donovan says, what if they use the Scream 3 voice changer? Hey, I have to say, and again, we're going to have a Scream 3 live stream earlier. Everyone was overwhelmingly supported it. So, excuse me, next week we're going to do it. But my thing is, I'm maybe one of the few people, I guess I'll say, that enjoyed that voice changer. I'd like the ability to capture your voice and manipulate it and imitate it. What did you think, Jack? Did you like it, or do you think it was too?
Dude, I could talk about I could talk about Scream 3 all day, man. Like, if you want somebody that'll like totally just share that love with you, man, I could talk about that. That was the first. that was so. I watched original Scream, and then I remember it was on TV a couple weeks later, the end of Scream 3, and I was like, whoa, I saw the voice changer thing where they find the voice changer in the closet. you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool! I got to watch two first. I can't watch this." And I remember that so vividly. But I for all of the hate that it gets, man, dude, I love that
Oh,
voice changer
it's
idea. What a great way
yeah.
to like cap it off, man. To cap off the trilogy, so to say, with something unique and original. I thought it was
Exactly.
great. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. People say, "Oh, that's not possible. We didn't have the technology." I said, "Dude, look, appreciate that. This was something new.
Yeah.
Wes Craven brought in. You know, we always talk about how every sequels need to have something different. It did. It was different. That had never been done before.
Yeah.
And I got a comment here, Jack, that I want to talk to you about because right now we're going to transition here as we wrap up to talk about Jack. And Juan Garcia says, "OMG, it's Jack Stanis. You made a slash movie." So and for everyone here on the chat, we got to talk for just a couple of minutes here. Jack has actually created some Scream fan films, and I mean full length films, like an hour and 20-minute film. I mean, he's even got like a director's cut on his channel. I'm telling you guys, Jack is very creative. His passion for Scream is real, and that's why I knew he would be such a joy to talk to, and that you guys would enjoy him tonight. I always try to bring you guys good guests with quality content every time. Jack, I knew would be great because it's a real thing. It's the real thing. It's not a fake acting. He's genuine, and his passion is genuine for Scream. And I know for the last 2 hours you've seen it on display. So, but now that Juan has mentioned this, and Juan, he recognized
Yeah.
you. So, Jack,
Oh.
tell us about your channel real quick, but more specifically about these Scream fan films.
So when I got out of the theater with my cousin Jonathan and we saw Scream 4, I said, "You know what, man? I've always wanted to rip the Band-Aid off and make a film." I was 12 years old when I saw Scream 4, and a year later, I was 13, we decided to make Slash, which was at 13 years old, our Scream fan film. And I remember filming it all summer, right after high school. We were in like, it was like ninth grade, I think. I'm thinking that correctly. Ninth grade. We were having such a blast. We got some kids from school to make it who had never seen Scream. Jonathan and I were like the two that had seen them all and knew our vision for it. And oh, thank you so much, Jen. So I remember posting it in September after we had filmed for the summer, and for that whole year, just seeing this fan film, which it's very clear it was shot with just a handy cam and no budget. I mean, at 13 years old, I saw it grow, and I
Yeah.
was like, I was shocked, and I started getting messages from people, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's make Slash 2. Let's do it. We had so much fun. Let's just continue it. So we did Slash 2, and then we did Slash 3 the year later. And I can't tell you, Stephen, to this day, I get just the kindest messages from people saying, like, you know, I grew up with those little fan films and I still watch them. And even like the younger audience that watches them and is like, you know, you inspired me to make my own Scream fan films. It just warms. There is nothing better in the world than to see that, like, a little project
So
that you
awesome.
had fun making, man,
Yes.
still gets traction to this day. So I saw
Yes.
this channel and I was going to make a Slash 4 prior to everything happening in the world, and then it got shut
Yes.
down, unfortunately. But I was like, you know what? I have all these awesome subscribers. They still watch the movies. Why don't I turn this channel into, like I said, you inspired me, Steven, to talk about
Oh,
film, just like you're doing, man. I mean, I'm
that's
telling you,
awesome.
like you, the collective, just watching how much joy you guys have talking about this, and it's something that I have joy talking about, and I've always wanted to do. I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time. I mean, these guys really showed me that it's possible, especially you, Steven, like watching your channel grow, man. Like you have such a
Yes.
presence to you that people just flock to you. I see it. It's awesome. You talk very
Oh,
well, man. I'm serious, and
well,
you
thank you, brother.
really inspired me to get this webcam and get this mic and
Love it.
start this journey. So those
So
fan
awesome.
films, I still look at the comments today, and I still get questions if I'm going to make another one. I am going to make another one. I just moved here to Arizona in Tucson. I don't know anybody yet, but I will find my cast. And for you guys, I will
Yes.
make /4. There you go, Jordan.
Wow.
Hashtag make /4, man. You know
That's
what?
right.
Why not? One day when I have it all set up, I will do it for you guys because you guys are outstanding. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you so
so
much.
awesome. Oh, Jack, you're more than welcome, man. It's been such a joy to get to know you now, and look, it's kind of like one of those things. Once you're in, you're in, brother. You're family, and so
Yeah.
I consider you a part of the Craven Something Scary family now, and that means that you will be getting more invitations to
Oh,
join me
yeah.
again if you want to,
Absolutely.
and this has been just such joy, and I think everyone, I'm sure, enjoyed tonight as well, and hearing all of your perspectives on things. And
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
here's a
each of
question.
you. Yep.
Okay, a question from
Oh,
Jordan.
yeah, yeah.
Why didn't you call it Ghostface instead of Slash?
If I could do it again, I probably would have called it Ghostface. But I mean, I was at 13. That was like
Right,
S for
right.
Scream. Then my good friend Joshua Patrick Dudley, who does the Stab movies on YouTube, which I just went last year to New Hampshire to shoot the opening of his new Stab reboot. Um,
Nice.
he did Stab, and then I was like S/. Okay, and I know Nev Campbell just did this commercial for this new app called Slashed. It was like a joke or something like that. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, there we go. That's awesome. And I was playing this game that they released, this trivia game that I guess the creators of the new movie released. And it said, what was the name of the fictional movie in the Scream universe? And there was Stab. There was like, I don't know. There was other things. And then there was Slash was number 3. And I was like, oh, baby, there it is.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It was so funny.
That's
But
so cool, man. Well, I got to tell you,
yeah.
it's really impressive what you did at such a young age, man. It's like,
Thanks.
because I like some of the scenes, the setups that you have, and I'm like, man, this took a lot of work. I can
We
tell you
hung
right now,
people
that
from
was,
wheelchairs, man. We had
dude.
some guy come in. It was nuts with the chainsaw. I still watch it and I have a big smile on my face. So I might do on my channel reaction videos of me watching those fan
For
films,
real,
revisit
man.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. It's so cool. And Killjoy Jake, who's in the collective,
Yeah.
he made a Scream fan film
That's
called
great.
Red Right Hand, right? He
Yeah.
made that last year. And he's now in the process, and I'm not sharing anything private because he's mentioned it. He's in the process of starting now to film the sequel. And his first movie was like, 12, 13, 17 minutes, something like that.
Mhm.
This one is going to be over an hour. It's going to be a full length feature. Like it's like yours. And so he's going to begin to working filming that this year.
Oh, nice.
So man, I'm telling you, there's some good talent here. Jack and Killjoy Jake. There's some real talent in doing this stuff, and I can't wait to see what you bring back. And maybe I don't know. Look, it's a reboot time, so you always could name your next film Ghostface if you wanted to.
Good. Good.
You could have the trilogy that's the past and now. I mean, do what you want. Obviously, it's your film.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, the
I love
Ghostface
it.
idea is not a
Yeah.
bad idea. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah, man.
It's
Yeah. I'll fly you
cool.
out, Steven. I'll fly you out. You'll cameo in the movie.
There you go. I could be a consultant.
Yeah, and out of like the people that I have on my list of other content creators, I'd love to chat with Killjoy Jake. I mean, after seeing his stuff in his film, he's definitely on the list, man. So it's
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff, dude. Good stuff, for
Definitely.
sure. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Maybe next time we'll schedule something up here with you and Killjoy Jake. We can do
Yeah.
a round table with all three of us. And
good.
that would be cool. Jen says, I want to be in a Scream film. Heck yeah.
I'll fly you out too, Jen. We'll get you.
Ah.
We'll get you all of you in.
There you go. That would be an amazing time, right? That would be so
Totally.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, before we get out of here, I do want to just say, visit Jack's channel again. I put it in the chat. But when we're done, go check out his channel. Some of you already have said you subscribe now. Go subscribe. Watch his Slash videos and his music videos. He's got some talent on the guitar too. So, hey, while you're there, you can check out his other stuff. But definitely do that, and let's show him some Craven Something Scary family love. And and that would be much appreciated if you did that. And also, if you guys have not hopped over to my social media, you can catch me over there anytime, especially on Instagram and Twitter. I'm most active there. And of course, my YouTube channel because you're on it right now. So the biggest thing is those last two. If you want to chat, send me a direct message. I'd be happy to hear from you and chat with you there as well. So on behalf of myself, I want to say, and on behalf of everyone, Jack, it's been a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you being here.
This warmed my heart, man. I needed this tonight. I've always wanted to. I never really, besides my cousin Jonathan, found people that I could just talk and
Hmm.
vent about my passion of films to, man. And you inviting me on
Yeah.
the show just really, really warmed my heart. I know I've said it, but I mean
Oh,
that. I deeply
well,
mean it.
thank
So
you,
thank
brother.
you. And thank you to each and every one of you for watching, all the comments and questions that you had.
Yeah.
I felt like I was just joined into a big family that was already
Yes.
created. And yeah, it's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you felt that way because that's how I wanted to always feel
Yeah.
when you come on the channel. And it's such a great community. You saw such great
Beautiful.
people.
Beautiful.
And I want to say thanks to everyone who was able to give a super chat tonight. Thank you guys again for that, genuinely from my heart. It means a lot to me. It helps the channel, helps me continue to bring this channel growth and also make more videos. So it really meant a lot to me. So thank you guys for that as well. And on that note, Jack, my friend, I think we will call it a night. It's been a great 2 hours,
Yes, it
and
has.
we will definitely do this again soon.
Sounds good.
And to everyone in the chat, thank you all for coming, for staying up late to have a visit in our living rooms with us tonight.
Hmm.
This has been a ton of fun, and we'll do it again very, very soon. So until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Catch you guys later.